কলকাতাতে ঘুরে গেলেন বলিউড অভিনেতা বিক্রান্ত মেসি। মির্জাপুর ওয়েব সিরিজে বাবলু ভাইয়া চরিত্রের জন্য জনপ্রিয় হয়ে উঠেছিলেন তিনি। সম্প্রতি 12 ফেল ছবিটার জন্য অনেক প্রশংসিত হয়েছেন বিক্রান্ত। বিক্রান্তকে দেখা গেল কলকাতাতে একটি টক শোয়ের অংশগ্রহণ করতে। সেখানে নিজের জীবন কেরিয়ারের ইচ্ছাও নিয়েও অনেক কথা বললেন তিনি।
For me, for 12th fail, this was the most challenging film of my life so far. Also because I was working with the most challenging director of my life, Vikrant. He is someone who is a taskmaster. You know, I would not call him a perfectionist, but he's a taskmaster. And I kind of recognize the potential this film has. You know, you will be surprised to know that most of the people we shared 12 fails story with, they were like, क्यों बना रहे हो ये फिल्म है? मतलब ये तो हर घर की कहानी है, कौन देखेगा आके? खास तौर पे नॉर्थ इंडिया में तो ये हर घर की कहानी होती है. And we said that is exactly why we should make this film, because ये हर घर की कहानी है. And coming back to the concept of restart, you know, whether it is an entrepreneur, whether it is an actor, or whether it is an average person who's doing a 9 to 5 job, you know, अगर आप hindsight में बैठ के analyze करेंगे, so you will realize that you cannot define success as a standalone concept. When do we say that I succeeded in life or I achieved this in life? You only say something like that after you have failed in life. So it is imperative for anybody and everybody to have that fair bit of failure to define any form of success in their own lives. और आम तौर पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है, especially as an actor, successes are very few actually shape your character. Even in life, some of the greatest inventions in life, I remember I was reading a book called Same as Ever by this guy called Morgan Housel. He's also the author of Psychology of Money. I'm sure you लोग जो पढ़ते हैं उन्होंने देखा होगा इस किताब को. So he said कि most of the inventions, अगर आप 500 साल पहले भी चले जाएंगे, in the world, they were created in extreme stress and duress. You know, when life is great, life is, you know, all hunky-dory, nobody moves their ass to go and create something in life. जब आपदा आती है ना जीवन में, तभी आदमी उठता है और कुछ नया क्रिएट करता है. So, with regards to the concept of failure, I think all of us have gone through it. All of us kind of relate with it. इसीलिए a lot of people embraced this film, and you very rightly said it is not just the aspirants who are preparing for any form of an exam. It is a very regular 9 to 5 person also who identified with this film, because the basic nature of life is such. Even as actors, we are actually paid to survive. By that, what I mean to say is that not all my films have been successful. But I was paid, I was given an opportunity again and again, I was resilient. And that is the theme of your evening, resilience. One has to be resilient to go out there and express what he or she wants to do. हमें भी सेट में हम एक्चुअली 4 से 5 घंटा शूट करते हैं, 12 घंटे में से हम कम से कम 6 से 7 घंटा सिर्फ वेट कर रहे होते हैं. So that kind of is synonymous with the lives that we lead. We are all waiting for that right opportunity, that one right moment. We get up every day, more or less we lead the most mundane lives every day, unless that one special day happens. And that one special day happens only once in a while. The resilience that you are waking up with and going out and knocking at the same place day in day out is for that magic to happen. वो magic ना हजारों दिन की मेहनत के बाद होता है. मैजिक रोज नहीं होता है. उसी तरह से जब हम सेट पे रहते हैं, हम 6 से 7 घंटा तो सिर्फ वेट कर रहे होते हैं कि लाइटिंग हो रही है, सेट पे कुछ काम चल रहा है, एंड देन यू कम एंड यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू कम एंड गिव अ शॉट एंड क्रिएट मैजिक. So you have to be so prepared for that moment of magic that you know वो resilience आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए कि अब आएगा shot, अब आएगा shot, अब आने वाला है, अच्छा वो right shot आ नहीं रहा है, वो मिल नहीं रहा है, and then that magic happens. So the biggest idea which I kind of recognize with firstly is you cannot define success as a standalone concept. Secondly, most of us are every day doing that mundane thing for that one day of magic to happen. And the idea is to be resilient in that case. वो resilience रखनी पड़ती है because that is the nature of life. Even you talk about science की अगर हम बात करें, you know, so many scientists they work years and years and years and years until that one day that they have arrived at what they were wanting in life. Everybody talks about that one day. They remember that day कि अच्छा ये so and so date को so and so चीज invent हुई. It has taken that person thousands of days to reach that one day. So resilience हमें रखनी बहुत जरूरी है, you know. And with regards to 12th fail, I think, you know, I'll just say this thing lastly that a lot of people saw themselves, a lot of people saw their loved ones, and it is a very India story. The resilience that India has, with all its diversity, with all its history and everything, this is the true India story. We have overcome some of the biggest obstacles together in life as a society, and we have found our way. And that is also one of the reasons why people love this film, and I'm glad they do. So yeah, this is what I feel. You know, I've always seen it like this. 3 साल पहले की बात है, 37 now, and Vinod sir is so brutal, he's so straightforward. You know, the first thing he said is कि यार तू कैसे लगेगा 19 साल का? And I said sir एक मौका दीजिए, मतलब मैं कोशिश करूँगा अपनी तरफ से. And फिर दाढ़ी निकाली, फिर बाल काटे, फिर you know I lost 8 kgs because I really wanted to be a part of this film. And at the cost of sounding a little, you know, self-boasting or boastful or, you know, pompous, if I may say. So they had, my production team had allotted some funds for VFX, for de-aging. You know, आजकल सब कुछ होता है. I don't know a lot of people here don't know. But everything is possible. I can make you look like a 20-year-old person. So there was a budget which was allocated. But thankfully, because of the weight loss and because of maybe the way I generally tend to look, you know, when sort of worked upon, we didn't spend a single rupee on the de-aging. तो काफी पैसा मैंने बचा दिया मेरे प्रोड्यूसर. It was wonderful playing that part, you know, because we've all been through that age. But playing a 19-year-old from Chambal was a big challenge. Because we all come from a certain sense of privilege. I come from Bombay. You know, you're from Calcutta. And we all come, at least इस कमरे में जितने लोग बैठे हैं वो एक sense of privilege से जरूर आते हैं. वहाँ की सोशल इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड को समझना, वहाँ के सोशल डायनामिक्स को समझना बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग था. कहीं ना कहीं there were days which were really heartbreaking as well, because unfortunately when I also recognize that we come from a certain sense of privilege, there are people like Manoj Kumar Sharma who are devoid of their basic human rights also. और आज भी unfortunately हमारे देश के कोने कोने में ऐसी बहुत सी चीज़ें हैं जो लोगों को उनके basic human rights से दूर रखती है. छोटा सा एग्जांपल आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करूँगा कि जब बारिश का मौसम आता है तो चंबल घाटी कहते हैं, सबको पता है कि इट इज़ अ रैवाइन. वहाँ पे 30-30 फीट 40-40 फीट तक पानी भर जाता है. गांव के लोग हैं जिनके पास डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स और थोड़ी बहुत सब्जी के अलावा इट इज एरिड, वहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर नहीं होता है. तो बाहर के दूसरे शहरों से एक मंडी लगती है जो उनके घर से बहुत दूर होती है, वहाँ आपको जाना होता है. What was so heartbreaking for me was while I was there shooting for this film and preparing for this film, मैं यूनिट से 2 हफ्ते पहले गया था वहाँ पे. So there was a family which sat down with me and they were trying to help me understand the place. हर साल वहाँ पे बारिश जब आती है तो बिच्छू, सांप, दुनिया भर के कीड़े जमीन से निकल आते हैं क्योंकि पानी ऊपर आता है। लोग एक सेंस ऑफ एलिवेशन पे चले जाते हैं। लेकिन अक्सर और हर साल बहुत से ऐसे घर होते हैं जिनके घरों में बूढ़े होते हैं जो चल भी नहीं पाते हैं। And that is the time when sons and daughters and families have to take an informed decision to leave behind that old person, knowing कि maybe हम अगले साल नहीं मिलेंगे। ये वहां की हालत है। कितने ऐसे परिवार हैं जो मतलब अपने बूढ़ों को छोड़ के जाते हैं हर साल शहर की तरफ, क्योंकि वो चल नहीं पाते हैं, उनको वहीं छोड़ देते हैं और बोलते हैं कि अगर नसीब रहा तो हम अगले साल दोबारा मिलेंगे या बारिश के बाद दोबारा मिलेंगे। उनको छोड़ के जाना पड़ता है बिकॉज दे कांट वॉक। वो खाट पे उनको छोड़ के जाते हैं, उनको बेसिक्स जो प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं वो करके जाते हैं। सो ये चैलेंजेस हैं वहाँ पे, और हमारे देश की ऐसी बहुत सी जगह जहाँ पे ऐसे चैलेंजेस हैं। तो इन
के आवाज में मनोज शर्मा की एक्टिंग में प्लीज सुनना।
मनोज शर्मा के अंदाज में मैं यही कहूँगा जो इंटरव्यू में मैंने कहा था, एंड if I cannot be the sun that shines upon the earth, if I cannot be the sun that shines upon the earth, I can still be a lamp and light up my street. अगर इस चीज को ध्यान रखें तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है आई एम साउंडिंग लाइक अ लाइफ कोच राइट नाउ, पर मेरा मानना है अगर हम इस चीज को थोड़ा सा ध्यान दें तो आई थिंक वी विल हैव डन आवर जॉब। So Filmfare used to be that major thing for us. कि न्यू ईयर के टाइम पे 31st ऑफ दिसंबर को फिल्मफेयर टेलीकास्ट होता था, रात को 9 बजे शुरू होता था और 12 बजे पटाखे फोड़ते थे, हैप्पी न्यू ईयर विश करते थे। हम लोग नहीं, फिल्मफेयर वाले। पटाखे के भी पैसे नहीं होते थे हमारे पास, और हम फिल्मफेयर देख के रात को सो जाते थे। एंड दैट वुड बी आवर 31st December ritual. So Filmfare has been a very integral part of my life. Filmfare की मैगजीन्स आती थी, उन पे जो भी एक्टर्स होते थे, my brother and I would make sketches of them. किसी की मूंछ बना दी, किसी को टापू बना दिया, वो सबने किया है मेरे ख्याल से, right? Everyone has done that. किसी को आई पैच लगा दिया या कुछ कर दिया। So वो मेरे पास इनफैक्ट आज भी वो मैगजीन्स हैं एक आध। So Filmfare was something that I always wanted. And I remember I did this film back in 2017 called A Death in the Gunj. You know, one of your very own, Konkana Sen Sharma directed that film. And a lot of people loved that film. At that time I got my first Filmfare nomination again for Best Actor Jury category. And I felt कि यार मतलब मिल जाएगा, अब तो मिल ही जाएगा, अब तो मेरा सपना पूरा हो जाएगा. But as I said, you know, life happens to you when you're busy making plans. जैसे ऊपर वाले ने मुझे ऐसा थप्पड़ मारा, मुझे पता चला कि यार मैं तो अवार्ड फंक्शन के लिए जा भी नहीं पा रहा। I was not even able to attend the award function. There were some other reasons which I could not. And then I thought कि चलो ये तो मौका चला गया. And then came 12th fail. So Filmfare has been a lifetime, you know, lifelong dream. I'm glad I got that. National award ka, I hope so too. Again, that is also a lifelong dream. What awards mean to me is validation. And I very, very firmly believe, you know, a lot of people say that they are TV shows, which they are, and they should rightfully be so also, because there are a lot of people paying money, there are a lot of sponsors, you know. I'm sure you have so many sponsors here. So, you know, to give them their rightful space, to give them their rightful recognition is also very important. Wow, क्या बात है, I needed this यार. Thank you so much, brother. क्या है ये black coffee? चीनी तो नहीं डाला ना? Thank God. मेरी फिटनेस का राज मैं चीनी नहीं लेता, कोई फिटनेस नहीं है, बीमार हूँ, 3 दिन से बीमार हूँ, मतलब बता नहीं सकता. Anyway, so awards mean validation to me, and I love it. I love it when I get awards. I get very upset when I don't. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I chase awards, but who doesn't like it? Yeah, I love it.
Amir doesn't like it.
वो आमिर सर जवाब देंगे. मैं उनका जवाब नहीं देना चाहता, पर मुझे अवार्ड बहुत पसंद है. And winning an award for 12 fail was a wonderful feeling.
So you're not a trained actor, but you made us love Manoj Kumar Sharma in 12th fail, and you made us hate Prem in Sector 36, and like how? And that is a compliment as an actor. That it gives chills in our spines seeing that movie yesterday. It is just released, by the way, in Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know, a lot of people might have not seen it. You've seen the film, so I'll speak in that context. And I'm hoping that a lot of people see this film. Most of you have not seen it yet. One of my dear friends, Priyanka Roy, is here from the Telegraph, and she was generous enough to sort of see the larger side of things and review that film. So thank you, Priyanka, for that. The larger context was far more important, and I also kind of found an opportunity to play a part that I've never done before. How do I do it? I don't know, yeah. I mean, sometimes I actually don't have an answer. The idea always remains that, to give people, to provide people an experience, whether good or bad, whether good or bad in the sense ki not bad experience, but through a good part or a bad part. Over here with regards to Sector 36, unfortunately it is based on many true cases, which unfortunately happen in our country even today. And the idea was to go out there and do whatever we can through the medium of storytelling, to sort of understand the nature of justice. कि justice का nature हमारे देश में unfortunately कैसा है. So these were the larger ideas. And while sort of wanting to go out there and do something, it was just these 4-5 crazy guys who got together who said, ये कहानी बोलनी चाहिए. It is the need of the hour. It is a story that needs to be told. And yeah, so we just got together. We were supported by Dinesh Vijan and his company Mad Dog Films. They kind of got together. Geo Studios also really helped us make this film. So we are all trying to do what we can through storytelling, because this is what we do, this is our medium. But coming back to playing these parts, I want to sort of just share this thing with you. I don't actually have an answer, to be honest, But थोड़े दिन पहले ही मैंने, in fact last year की बात है, I remember after 12th Fail's release, I read this somewhere on Instagram that Rolls Royce sells you status, Amazon sells you convenience, Disney sells you dreams, and McDonald's sells you something, and this sells you something. So I kind of told myself that I want to sell emotions. I want to sell emotions to you, emotions that you resonate with. Because we are all emotions, इंसान emotions ही है. All the flesh and blood that we see inside that is pure emotion. So I want to sell emotion. I want people to sort of resonate with me whenever I'm gone a few years down the line. I want people to say, yeah, he sold emotions, which represented human nature. So that is what I try to do. Sometimes I land, sometimes I don't. So yeah, and the attempt is ongoing. It will keep on going. Yeah.
So is it a conscious effort to defy the stereotype and do a role like a Bablu Bhaiya in Mirzapur, or a Rishu in Haseen Diluba, or a Manoj Kumar Sharma in 12th Fail, and not do the quintessential Bollywood hero running around trees and singing and dancing and chasing?
नहीं, सबसे पहले तो मुझे वो रोल्स आते ही नहीं. I mean, no big studio sees me that way. I want to do the conventional Bollywood stuff. यार मुझे भी मतलब एक किक में 4 लोगों को मारना है. I also want to do that. I also want to romance heroines, but nobody offers me those films. So I have come to this realization कि वो रोल्स नहीं आने वाले. I would rather stick to what I am being offered, be kind to the ones who are giving me work. But also, on a serious note, the larger idea remains the larger idea of the story. और वो हर बार ऐसा नहीं है कि it has to have a message. हम लोग भी कई बार बोर हो जाते हैं. हमें भी लगता है कि यार एक माइंडलेस कॉमेडी कर लेते हैं ना यार, एंटरटेनिंग फिल्म कर लेते हैं. वैसे ही मतलब साल के 6-8 महीने तो इतना स्ट्रेस लेके जीते हैं कि आई होप द मैसेज ऑफ दिस फिल्म लैंड्स. And then in this age of misinformation, and it's a paradox. In the age of misinformation, in the age of too much information, you are lost somewhere in between. So for a film like 12 Fail and a film like Sector 36 or a film like Chhapak, you take those films back home with you, hoping it reaches the audiences. But some days you just want to go out there and entertain the audiences. But also having said that, you want to try different parts. You don't want the audiences to slot you because they so easily slot you, na? कि हाँ, when I started off, my biggest worry was कि यार मैं हीरो के दोस्त में slot हो रहा हूँ और हम सबके दिमाग में है ये कि अच्छा ये तो वो हीरो का दोस्त है. मेरे को वो हीरो के दोस्त के slot से निकलना था. And the TV slot also kind of hung around for a long time. Even when I was doing movies, I've spoken to you about this, Priyanka, that people were like, ये तो TV actor है. And I always used to think कि TV actor क्या होता है यार? Actor तो actor होता है. Theater actor, film actor, TV actor. तो वो categorize कर देते हैं. तो I don't, firstly, before people start categorizing me, I make sure that I don't give them an opportunity. और वो insecurity आज भी है. You said UP Bihar, which is so true. 80% of the people feel कि guy next door, थोड़ा गरीब सा, पतला सा, दुबला सा, यूपी का, बिहार का, और अच्छा एक्टर चाहिए तो विक्रांत को लेके आओ. ये सच है. और मुझे तो हंसी भी आती है इस चीज पे. इसीलिए फिल्म्स लाइक सेक्टर 36 and the films that I'm doing next year. So वो मोल्ड ब्रेक करना चाहता हूँ मैं. तो but the idea is to keep challenging myself with roles and also tell important stories. Tomorrow if there is an important story again which I feel जिसके लिए I'll have to play the same guy जो मैंने अभी बताया, यूपी का, बिहार का, I don't mind doing that because the larger idea is always impacted. But कहीं ना कहीं बीच में थोड़ा अपने लिए भी कुछ ढूंढना चाहिए ना. That is a rarity. मतलब वो बहुत कम हो रहा है. गाने भी अब वैसे नहीं बन रहे क्योंकि आज हमारी जो यंगर जनरेशन है वो K-pop सुन रही है. That is true. My nieces are listening to K-pop. उनको सिर्फ अरिजीत पता है, उनको उदित नारायण, उनको कुमार सानू के बारे में पता ही नहीं है. But that's fine. That was also the case with us. So one has to adapt with time. There is too much of content being put out. Why are people not going to cinema halls? Because it is an expensive proposition. Going to a cinema hall for one person is almost like 700-800 रुपए का खर्चा. और कम्युनिटी व्यूइंग जो होती है वो कम्युनिटी व्यूइंग का चार्म आज कन्वीनियंस हैज ओवरटेकन एंड आई हैव बेनिफिटेड अ लॉट फ्रॉम दैट व्हिच इज ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स. टुडे वी रियलाइज that entire experience of community viewing will never be replaced. It can never be replaced. But it is also an expensive proposition. एक नॉर्मल 9 to 5 वाले आदमी को अगर अपने परिवार को महीने में एक बार अपनी सैलरी से पिक्चर लेके जाना है, which is an event, हमारे लिए इवेंट होगा ना. आज पिक्चर देखने जा रहे हैं तो पहले दिमाग में होता था कि चोकोबार खाएंगे, पॉपकॉर्न खाएंगे, समोसा खाएंगे और कांच की बोतल में कोल्ड ड्रिंक पिएंगे. ये आपके दिमाग में ये चीजें होती थी. ये जो मैंने अभी चीजों के बारे में बताया, यही 1000 रुपए का खर्चा आया. So it is difficult. There are lots of permutations and combinations one has to be mindful of. But we are trying to make good films. We are all trying to make films which have a certain sense of an archival value, which are worth your time and money. We also recognize that you cannot be manipulated, and nobody wants to manipulate it. The writers, the filmmakers, the fraternity as a whole, irrespective of the medium, want to be worth your time. Lastly, if I may say, our own consumption patterns have changed. आज content and data suggests this that 70 to 80% of content is consumed on your mobile phone. आज अगर मैं आपको आपके घर पे प्रोजेक्टर भी लगाऊंगा, you with your convenience sitting on your commode will want to watch, and I mean it. That is the fact, that is the data. 70 to 80% of the content you are consuming is on your mobile phone. Our consumption patterns have changed. So these are things, but yeah, I mean, one has to keep trying. We are trying, as I said. Yes, Raju sir and I are collaborating. It is a 6-episode mini-series for Disney Hotstar. It is a very interesting space. I've never ventured into that space. बहुत जल्द उसके बारे में लोगों को पता होगा. Sector 36 is released just yesterday. Please go watch it. Parents with children, please do not watch it with your children. You know, it is an R-rated movie. It is a restricted rated movie. It is based on, unfortunately, it is based on many real-life incidents. So viewer discretion is advised. So parents, please do not let your kids watch this film. I have this very interesting film called Talaqon Mein Ek. You know, Talaqon Mein Ek. It is a divorce story. So that is also going to be coming out hopefully by the end of this year. And I have the Sabarmati report. The Sabarmati report is releasing very soon. Yes, I know we've had multiple date shifts, but that is the nature of the job. This film that we worked very, very hard on is going to be out again in a couple of months. So yeah, these are the films. What I start shooting for, abhi tak main unke baare mein bata nahi paunga. There are a few really interesting things that are in the pipeline, but I think, you know, I will only speak, you know, at the right time. So yeah.
What kind of legacy does Vikrant? He's done acting. How do you want people to remember you? Do you want them to remember you in the same lines as Irfan Khan? You know,
ये बहुत बड़े नाम हैं. ये बहुत बड़े नाम हैं. These are very big boots, and I don't think मैं वो कर पाऊँगा. I'm a realist in life. ठीक है. वो इरफान साहब हों या आमिर खान हों, ये बहुत बड़ी लेगेसी है. इनको आप ये जितने भी लोग हैं, ये once in a generation आते हैं. I want to do Vikrant. What is Vikrant? I don't know. You know, maybe you guys can sort of define it after I'm gone. What I want to be remembered as is someone who tried. Someone who tried from his end to represent the common man, to represent the times that we lived in, अगर हम past tense में बात करें, or represent the times he lived in. Who tried to be the voice of the voiceless, who tried to entertain, who tried to stand up to the powerful, who tried to have a certain sense of an archival value, who tried to be worth our time and money. So that is what I would want people to recognize me as, and nothing more. An actor who tried to sort of do his best. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we just move on to our last leg of today, which is the rapid fire round, and
Yes, Karan Johar has inspired all interviews. Like, बहुत मजा आता है यार, मजा आता है.
so we'll quickly start. So
Please.
in 12 feet, which according to you is your best look out of the four? One is from Mirzapur, 12 feet, Sector 36, and Haseen Duluba.
I think I like myself as Rishu. Yeah, I like myself as Rishu because मैं actually normal life में ऐसे ही रहता हूँ, तो मुझे ना बहुत ज़्यादा तैयार नहीं होना पड़ा था इसके लिए. I love shooting. ये rapid fire जैसा लग नहीं रहा है, but मैं सिर्फ थोड़ा context दे रहा हूँ कि I almost walked out of my hotel room like this only. कुछ मेकअप नहीं करना, मैं चश्मा पहनता हूँ और दाढ़ी तो हमेशा रखता हूँ, बाल बनाना I hate. So yeah.
In 12 feet, your character says, पापा कहते हैं बाहर के अंधेरे से नहीं अंदर के अंधेरे से डरो.
जी.
What do you do to remove your अंदर का अंधेरा?
Be a realist. You know, everything is transient in nature. Nothing is permanent. कुछ भी permanent नहीं है लाइफ में. Success, failure, पैसा, नाम, सब कुछ temporary है. जिस दिन लाइफ के इस basic nature को समझ जाओगे, उस दिन बहुत खुश रहोगे. Yeah.
Super. Also in the movie, like you said, like you enacted one of the lines, if I cannot be the sun that shines upon the earth, I can still be a lamp and light up my street. Can you give one example from your personal life which relates to this statement?
Oh my goodness. Like if I may say that trying to be the lamp that lights up the street. I try helping people around me. I want to help the world, but I don't have the resources for it now. So whatever resources I have, I try helping people around me, and that is what I mean by work that line. Yeah.
In हसीन दिलरुबा your character says, मुझ में जो बुराई है वो मैं पहले ही मान लेता हूँ. What's one flaw you admit right away?
One flaw, I haven't been looking after my health well. So yeah, I've been neglecting my health, and I need to sort of look after myself a little more.
Given the choice between the two, what will you choose? Critical acclaim or box office reviews?
Both.
You have to choose one.
देखो critical तो मिल रहा है. God is kind. I think now it's time I convert that into box office.
What is Vikrant's biggest fear?
Biggest fear is to lose my parents, my family actually, not just parents, my family.
Growing up, who has been your acting idol?
Irfan sir.
If not an actor, what would you be?
Probably a public servant. Yeah.
Favorite Bollywood movie of all time?
Lagan.
A role you found the most challenging to play?
Manoj Kumar Sharma from 12th grade.
Apart from 12th grade.
Apart from 12th grade, I think Prem Singh from Sector 36. Yeah.
A role in any of the Bollywood movies you wish you had played?
Bhuvan from Lagan. I would have loved to play that.
If you had any superpower, what would it be?
I would want to go invisible. I would really want to go invisible. Whack those people who I really don't like. ऐसे
You don't seem that guy.
मतलब बैक में ऐसे टपली तो मार ही सकता है ना.
Okay, last one. Out of the recent movies we have seen, which one do you think was overrated?
यार ऐसे ही गलत है. They're all my colleagues here. That's
What is the controversy?
नहीं, नॉन कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल आदमी हूँ मैं. कोशिश करता हूँ. वैसे ही ट्विटर पे इतनी गालियाँ पड़ती हैं मुझे हर दिन, तो we'll skip that part.
Myself came on the Irana portal called Landtrek. So my question is, Mumbai has been a very integral part of your journey. You have seen your struggle, you have seen your success also. So how your perception of Mumbai and Mumbai's perception of you, according to you, has changed over this journey?
See, I don't know how Mumbai sees me, but
You can get a feel, right? How your city sees you now,
how my city sees me now.
and the difference.
My city has been very generous, My city has, I mean, it has always been the city of dreams. Bombay, now Mumbai or Bombay, has always been the city of dreams. It has been that one city which is always given, if you are diligent with what you do. इतने लोग हैं वहाँ पे, हजारों लाखों लोग हैं वहाँ पे. It is one of the most populated cities in the world, highly densely populated cities in the world. If you are honest and sincere with what you do, that city will always give you back. And I can very proudly say as a Mumbaiker that उस शहर में कोई भूखा नहीं सोता, पता है. आप कहीं से भी आए, आपको तन पे पहनने को कपड़ा, पेट में रोटी, आपको कहीं ना कहीं से आपका जरिया बन ही जाएगा. And I'm proud to be a Mumbaiker. And just a very small example I'll share with you. I have fairly traveled the world, and I'm talking about America. That big apple. वहाँ पे there were days during weekdays 11 साढ़े 11 के बाद खाना ही नहीं मिलता, because most restaurants would be shut. Weekends non-stop it would be open. And Mumbai is another place, or even Calcutta for that matter of fact. I have spent a lot of time here. रात को अगर भूख लगी है 3 बजे, you go to a certain place, आपको Calcutta roll, अंडा रोल मिल जाएगा आपको. भूखा कोई नहीं सोएगा. So there are वहाँ पे आपको बॉम्बे में आपको अंडा भुर्जी मिल जाएगी. सुबह 4 बजे भी, 5 बजे भी, कुछ भी हो. And it is a vibrant place, Mumbai. It welcomes people with open arms. As I said, if you're honest with what you do, it always gives you back. There are so many success stories we've heard, from my parents' generation. Both my grandfathers, paternal and maternal, they migrated from different places. They came to that city, and today we call that place home. So this in itself is proof that that city always gives you back.
Vikrant, there are many words doing around media and social media about the struggle and challenges a newcomer from an ordinary family with no godfather faces. So you have already gone through that journey. So how much those words are true and how much is faith in it?
I think a lot of it is overanalyzed also. If you ask me, I feel that you really don't need a godfather if you are honest with yourself, if you know you're good with what you do. चाहे कोई भी फील्ड हो, I am going to pick 3 professions to sort of explain it to you really quickly. Cricket, politics and Bollywood. These are the 3 most aspirational professions in our country, whether a boy or a girl. If you are good at what you do, you don't need a godfather. If you play cricket well, your talent will give you the opportunity. If you diligently want to serve people, people will give you the opportunity. And if you are good at what you do as an actor or a storyteller, if you want to represent the people, this film industry will give you the opportunity. I am the biggest example. I don't have a godfather. I have nearly 21 years of experience at the age of 37 and I haven't even begun yet. लोग nepotism, मैं बीच में ये कहना चाहता हूँ, लोग nepotism की बहुत बात करते हैं. Nepotism is everywhere. Tomorrow, if you are a businessman doing decently well for yourself, you are not going to leave it behind for somebody else. You will definitely make sure you leave it behind for your own kids. That is the nature of life. The film industry, lastly, is one of the most robust democratic institutes in India. This film industry has really honored me for what I do. They didn't care where I come from, what background I come from, what my parents do, how much money I have in the bank. What I do in front of the camera is what mattered and it will continue to be so. So that's how it is. Godfathers, just focus on what you're meant to do. Just give it your best. ये कोई 3 dates वाली बात है. काबिल बनो. काबिल बनने के लिए मेहनत करो. फिर सक्सेस झकमरा के पीछे आएगी. So you have to see it that way. Yeah, that's true. I remember, एक चैन शुरू हुआ था. I think I'm talking about nearly 20 years ago only. There were a lot of these aviation institutes that were coming up, private institutes, जो आपको groom करते थे, train करते थे to get into cabin crew. And I would think like, और उस time पे most of my friends, some of them were in merchant navy. सब and merchant navy के लिए 10+2 करके भाग गए. Graduation की भी जरूरत नहीं होती थी. And the same applied for cabin crew also. 10+2 किया, 12th का सर्टिफिकेट आया, आपने अप्लाई किया, ट्रेनिंग ली और चल गए. So मन बहुत था करने का, and to travel the world. I love traveling, but I never saw it that way. And thank you for sort of reminding me this, that God has been very kind, traveling the world day in, day out. I don't know, I think life works in crazy ways.
So while traveling, does it ever, when you're on board, does it ever hit you कि मैंने एक point पे अप्लाई किया था, वो मेमोरी आती है?
वो अब नहीं आती, पर जब नया शुरू किया था तब आती थी.
आज आ जाएगी.
आज तो आएगी, बिल्कुल आएगी. Traveling the world has always been something which, like most of us, we all want to see the world, we all want to travel the world. So yeah, but I'm on the other side. I'm being served, which is, God is great. God is really kind. Thank you.
For the last 1 hour, it feels like you are one of us. It has been very free flowing. What keeps you grounded even now after being on the receiving end of the good things in life now? What keeps you grounded?
Thank you so much. You're too kind. I am one of you. I am you. And I always feel, कि हमारे यहाँ पे the world over actually. My nieces I was talking about, they call themselves Swifties, Taylor Swift fans. And they go nuts and they listen to K-pop. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have never been that way, you know, and I want people to see me as one of them, because the nature of your job cannot make you different. You know, because the nature of my job puts me out to you. But there are far more people who are working harder to make the world a better place than I am. And sometimes I feel I don't deserve the love and admiration I get just because I'm an actor. But anyway, I mean, I don't know. I mean, यार मुझे अजीब लगता है यार जब people treat me in a very different way. I don't even have an answer to that. It kind
Are
of...
your friends the same that they were when you started?
Yeah.
Is the family that kind of holds
It's
you
the
back?
family. Of course, it is the family and friends. Like, how do I keep myself grounded? You know, I'm just going to jump away from this question and give you context of my worldview. Okay? And probably that will answer your question. Unfortunately, we live in times that when we go back home, we meet a nice person, we go back home and we share it with our loved ones, saying कि यार मैं आज उससे मिला, वो बहुत down to earth, बहुत अच्छा इंसान है. He's a very kind person. It is a shame that हम आज इस दौर में पहुंच गए. Aren't we all supposed to be nice and kind? हमारे बाप दादाओं ने हमें ये भी सिखाया, हमारी माओं ने ये भी सिखाया हमें. Be nice. नहीं शबाई भालो दादा. We've all been taught that way. हमारे बड़ों ने हमें ये सिखाया है, be nice, be kind. But we live in an age where it's become a rarity to find the kind guy. I mean, that is not how it should be. We are all conditioned that way. Today when we see someone, for example, if we see an actor, अगर कोई एक्टर चल के जा रहा है और अगर किसी का जूता या चप्पल गिरा हुआ है, अगर वो उसको चप्पल ऑफर कर रहा है या पानी ऑफर कर रहा है, तो लाइक oh my god, such a kind person. Oh my god, he or she is such a kind person. That is the basic nature of how we should be. So that is my worldview here. And how do I keep myself grounded? I think my profession does not define my personality. You know, I do not want people to sort of know me or see me for what I am. I want them to sort of remember me for who I am. And I think all of us should be the same way. I mean, क्या है? किसी के पास ज़्यादा है, किसी के पास कम है, लेकिन वो वैल्यू सिस्टम तो एक ही होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए. People is so important. It opens your worldview. And whether it is Chambal, whether it is luxury, whether it is challenges like Chambal, I think ये सारी चीजें सबको देखनी चाहिए. Now I'm a father. I have a 7-month-old baby boy. I want him to travel the world. I want him to see the good and bad of life in all its possibilities. As much as the security and everything I can provide. But life तो उसको खुद ही जीनी है. Life choices तो उसको खुद ही बनाने हैं. Sorry. So हाँ यार, I don't know. मतलब मैं ना बहुत बोलने लग जाता हूँ कई बार. I get tired of my own self sometimes. Now I know why my wife gets pissed off every single day.
That's, I think, the nature of life.
Nature of life. Nature of life is nature of life. It's the same. She's like, अरे बंद करो ना प्रवचन यार. तुम अपना काम करो ना, तुम प्रवचन की देते हो. सर क्या करें? कल को एक्टिंग की दुकान बंद होगी तो कुछ कर सकता हूँ मुझे ऐसा.
Another question.
Yeah.
Yeah.